The nature of our consciousness is that it's always there. It's not like the body, which comes and goes. The nature of our consciousness is present in all states. The Mandukya Upanishad, one of the Vedantic texts, calls this as the Ajati-vada. Ajati meaning a state where we are never born. If something was never born, then will that thing die? What is it that is never born? Ajati. So today, let us just contemplate on this. And you can try to follow me as much as possible in the train of thought. So you can use your thinking, but stay close to that zone or the domain of thoughts that I try to lead you onto. Ajati. One of the shlokas in the Bhagavad Gita says that Najayate namriyate, meaning nothing is born, nothing ever dies. Ajayate mriyate va kadachin, nayam bhutva bhavitha va nabhuya. What is it in us that is never born? So let us try to just kind of remember the day or the time that I was born. Try to look back in your own past and see, was there a time that you felt you were born? The earliest childhood memories. Probably when you were born, the earliest memory you have might be at the age of 3 or at the age of 1 or at the age of 2 years. But did you have a memory or a thought when you were born? Maybe somebody else told you that you're born on such and such a day, and that they treat as your birthday. But is it real that that is your birthday? Maybe the body came into a certain form in this world on that day. But is it true that you were really born? Were you there even before the body came into the world? And obviously, there's also a state where we were all human beings in our mother's womb. So even our earliest memory we might have, whatever it might be, even if it is, as some yogis have, at the time of, from the time of conception or from the time of being in mother's womb, or the earliest memories we have, it is a form or a modification of the body. It is not the time that we were born, really. It is taking shape in a certain form, which we call as birth. So what the Mandukya Upanishad is saying is that nothing was ever born. Bhagavad Gita also says that Najayate namriyate. If something is not born, then will it die? Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamani sharire. Bhagavad Gita says that If something is not born, something can, that what dies might be that which has birth. So the body has taken birth and the body might die. But do we die because can we trace back when we are born? We always have a sense of beingness. So beyond our thoughts, if you can try to go beyond your thinking, beyond your remembering, and try to see, don't you always have a sense of being? Even what we call as waking and sleep state, the avastatraya, the three states of waking, dreaming, sleeping. Do you feel that when you wake up, that is it really true that when you wake up is when you are alive? Were you not alive when you were dreaming or sleeping? Did you feel that you were non-existent or you had died during your sleep? So try to see, instead of just thinking through it, how does it feel to be in that state of Ajati, in the state of not ever being born? Here we have to go beyond our thinking. And this is what is the Advaitic or the Nirguna kind of meditation, where we try to see if I can connect to the state of beingness, where I don't have to feel that, am I awake? Am I present? Am I alive? There is something in me that is beyond thought, which is naturally always affirming that I am. And this is what we call as Nitya, eternal, Sanatana, permanent. Why is this permanent? Is it permanent like it exists for eons, millions of years, like some mountains? Or is it because it's always there, it's beyond time, it's beyond space? So can you try to rest in that space where there is no sense of time? I don't have to wake up and do this. I don't have to go to sleep at this time. I just have to be. I don't need to think through to become what I am. I don't need some specific or unique kind of thought. I need the thoughts to tell me that I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I'm not this sense of waker, dreamer, sleeper. So the thoughts are there to help us through the process of negation. So every time I have a thought that I'm this body or I'm thinking through this, then I have come back to the realm of this one who is waking, this one who is born. But to know myself, I don't really need a thought. I don't even need to think, when is it that I woke up? Or when is it I got this name? Ajati, Ajata-vada. This is the truth of Ajati-vada, or the state of ever being present, ever being conscious. So in reality, we don't have to meditate to be in the state. This is our natural state. So what we have to do though is we have to remember every now and then that I am this natural thing, because I tend to remember every time myself has this body, these roles I play, these titles I have, these skills I have. So in order to negate this acquired knowledge through our life, all these things where we have added on identifications, the most profound thing is to realize that I was never born. So just this one thought or this one inquiry, when was I born? Was I ever born? If I go beyond my memory of my childhood, there was never a time, I never had a time where I experienced I was never there. Just as how in sleep and I wake up, when I wake up, it's not that I experience I was not there. I was there, but through my thoughts, I felt like I was not awake, because I'm using my mind, I'm using my thoughts to know my true state. But deep within me, I knew that I didn't die when I went to sleep. I don't need somebody else to tell me that you were sleeping, or you were alive in your sleep. I know that I was there, just as how I know myself using the thoughts in my waking. Another shloka from the Mandukya Upanishad, Advaita Prakarana, says that Ato vakshyami karpanyam ajati samatam katam yatha na jayate kinchit jayamanam samantata. That which is unborn is free from all limitations. It doesn't undergo modifications, such as it is not going through the process of being born, growing, decaying, and one day dying. It's homogeneous. Samatam gatam. And even the mental state, what we call as a mental state of happiness, sadness, I'm excited, I'm lethargic, it doesn't go through those states. But yet it is not is kind of a zombie state. It is a state of joy. It is a state of Paramananda. It is a state of Satchitananda, that ever existing, ever conscious joy. And here in reality, he says, nothing is ever born. Yatha na jayate kinchit. Just as how nothing ever is ever born. Nothing that is conscious is ever born. Jayamanam samantata. In various forms, I seem to appear. We don't have to think necessarily that I take birth so many lifetimes. In this very life, I take form as a father, a teacher, a student. So many different forms, so many different names, so many different kind of also my body shapes through different years. But in all this, I'm Aja. I'm never born, unborn. Why? Because that I'm always that pure consciousness. So just rest for a few minutes in just this awareness, in just your beingness. Don't worry about sounds, thoughts, emotions coming and going. They are not what is happening to you as a conscious being. They're all happening at the level of the mind and the body. So we just try to relax and rest in. We don't have to even think through to get to our natural state. We just have to recognize it and remain in that recognition that I am this unborn consciousness, never tainted by any thoughts or changes in my physical body. Ajo Nitya Shashwatoyam Purana, the Bhagavad Gita says. I'm Aja, I'm Nitya, permanent, Shashwatoyam, eternal, ever existing. And you can just relax now, take a deep breath and just feel that physically also you can relax. And we'll say just a closing prayer, a closing thought as we hold on to the state of beingness, the state of being ever unborn, never born, Ajati, that highest truth given in all the Upanishad, in all the Vedic literature of my own beingness, my own true state. You can say a closing prayer to end this contemplation session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.